Dylan Moore here, and I'm excited to be joined by Jordan Lewis. We're going to be chatting a little bit about the 2014 Premiership in the Nissan e-Power, so yeah, really excited. E-Power is driven by electricity, fueled by petrol, so you'll never need a plug-in. Just driving it now, it's just so smooth. You can hardly hear anything outside the car.
It's actually quite nice.
It's actually no transmission, so no gear changes, just smooth.
Smooth like Shawnee Burgoyne. So 2014 season, what do you know?
Being a big Hawks fan, I remember watching grand final week, a few key injuries I think.
You're right, injuries to, I think Mitch was injured with a hamstring. I'm still trying to work out how he did a hamstring without the pace that he's never had. Josh Gibson might have been hamstring as well. So yeah, so all of that drama throughout the season and you know, constant probably media speculation about you know, how much can you deal with during the season come finals time, but players step up in the absence of more senior players.
Well, that was Will Langford's, was that his final series where he just went crazy?
Yeah, no, he was, and that, I mean, those things you can't predict, right? Like he was probably, you know, one of the best final series play. He had a really good grand final as well. Kicked some really important goals. With the one on the boundary line, left pocket, bounces over the Sydney player. So I think you look at those things and you go, you know, it's a game where everything is working. But even leading into that game, we were underdogs. I mean, we had a fairly good victory the week before, but Sydney, I think they pumped North Melbourne by, you know, 10 or 12 goals, and their pressure was great, and Franklin was on the other team and not on ours. And
who did you guys play in the prelim? Was that Freo?
No, we played Port Adelaide. So they would load up at centre half back for Port Adelaide, and they would just run through. And you know, we were on the back foot really. We couldn't really defend. Our most important player was on the bench with a corky. Who was me?
Yeah, you got subbed out. I heard you got subbed out.
With a corky. Far out. Did not cop it for that. It was really only a Hodgie desperate act late that basically saved the game. So the theme going into that game was around the San Antonio Spurs and how unselfish they were and how their ball movement was pure. And so I think if you look back on the grand final, it was probably the best game we've played for a long time. I mean, physically, you know, you could point to probably Ruffy and Haley and Punky.
When did you come to the club? What year?
So I was drafted 2004.
Yeah, so you guys are probably in a similar position to where we are now.
Yep.
You make a grand final, win a grand final in 2008. Like, what would you give, like any advice you'd give to our playing group now?
Yeah, so take away the 08 Premiership, it really was 8 to 10 years of building foundations to become successful for 5 years. So be impatient. So don't accept that you're in a development phase that you can't then progress a lot quicker than what other sides have. All those behaviours in training, pre-season, in-season, weights room add up to being successful and being a high quality team. I haven't been back to Waverley in sort of a decade. So even driving in now, it does bring back, you know, really good memories, and I think it probably makes you appreciate your time at such a great club. So even when we're driving, like this was totally packed. So did you come to open training?
Yeah, I used to stand around on these steps. Side.
Yeah. So it was just a great buzz.
Thanks for the drive.
No worries at all.
It was great to hear about 2014 as a massive Hawks fan growing up. Like, I remember just watching it, but to actually relive a few of the moments and the memories from you, I really appreciate it.
No worries. I mean, 10 years goes quick, so it's nice to reminisce and talk about the good old days.